Hey, what's up? This is Lon Philip Sullivan from LSUODYSSEY.com. Just wanted to, close the book on this thing, this saga. LSU fans, I know you're exhausted of it. I am too. I mean, on one of the hottest days of the year so far, it's almost just as intense and thick and sickening as the heat, this Arik Gilbert story. And, there's a lot of interesting parts to this thing because a lot of questions, a lot of messages I've been getting. People are asking me, hey, I thought Arik was enrolled, I thought he was coming back. Stuff like that, of course, because everybody, including, Brody Miller was saying that. A lot of people from LSU were saying that, LSU reporters, LSU media. LSU Odyssey was by no means the only one saying Arik Gilbert was going to return. We were just one of the first. And we were following this story the whole way. What can I say? And it followed as many twists and turns as Arik Gilbert's decisions. We can't predict the future as every second here. What we can do is try and take the evidence we're given, such as Arik Gilbert talking to athletic and academic administrators, traveling to Baton Rouge to see Coach Orgeron personally, and kind of say, hey, those things mixed with the nonstop, cryptic tweets with him wearing LSU clothing, wearing LSU, pictures of him from the games. If you saw those types of things, those type of messages, where Arik Gilbert usually goes with it, and it never has any meaning in the end, does it? It never does it? And, LSU fans are left disappointed again, but they shouldn't be, because here's the thing. Arik Gilbert would have bolstered the options of an already incredibly talented, stacked, loaded squad. But he would not have, expanded or, blew up the unity in that locker room. Now, would he? He's not going to be a rah-rah guy that's going to bring everybody together. Now, I don't know every in and out of Arik Gilbert's personality. But from what I've heard, he was a very quiet, shy dude. And he got a lot of respect to LSU from the players more through that than them getting to know him. There's a lot of players who got to know him, especially the freshmen. But there's a lot of players who didn't get to know him as well. Arik Gilbert, there's a lot of fans who felt like they were starting to get to know him, and then he goes as well. It's kind of sad because right as this fan base was starting to really fall in love with Arik Gilbert and his talents and what he could have meant to LSU and how Jake Peets would have maximized those talents, it's really sad. It's sad for Arik, I think, because his development at LSU would have just skyrocketed. He's going to Georgia where they don't do too well with receivers. I think there was a statistic I heard where there is something like there hasn't been a Georgia receiver drafted in how long? Now, it may have been in the first round or second round or something like that, but I'm remembering it as Georgia receivers who were even just drafted. Now, I'm sure they've had like Pickens or whoever, a few guys who've gotten into the draft. I'm not sure who they've had lately. I'm not following Georgia football as much. But I know they've had a few guys lately. But Georgia receivers have historically, traditionally, not done too well with the NFL draft. Arik Gilbert's going to come and he's going to try and change all that and try and change the whole, offensive mindset there at Georgia with quarterback JT Daniels. But here's the thing. How transcendental can Arik Gilbert be at Georgia with that offense, with that offensive coordinator, with that offensive system? Do you think he can do anything there? Or will he need to have his burst of speed back? That speed that, people like Josh Pate from 247 compared to Eric Dickerson. What if he doesn't have that burst anymore? Because we only saw that burst a few times at LSU. What if the burst isn't there for Arik Gilbert at Georgia? Will his aerial abilities make up for that? I probably. Depends on how good of a quarterback JT Daniels is. It depends on the opposition. Depends on the offensive system. I mean, here's the thing. Arik Gilbert, only 3 touchdowns, but he looked amazing at times. We just couldn't get him the ball. But there was times he also ran some lazy routes. There's times he flat out couldn't block. There's times he hurt the scheme because of his lack of ability to block. And that's why they're going to put him out wide. But what does that say? I need to be first. I need to be the guy. I think LSU's had enough of that. I think that's the last thing the Tigers need. I think that's the last thing the Tigers want. And, if that's the vibe, we'll take a hard pass. And I know Orgeron and them, they were pursuing Arik Gilbert daily. We're not the only ones saying that. Far from it. 247 is saying it. So many others are saying it. And I get why with the talent, of course. But we're finding out now, not just because he didn't, pick LSU. It's because of how this all went down. It's because of how he started to stoke the LSU fires again. Wasted a lot of resources and time again. Got the fan base's hopes up again. And he goes to Georgia. I hope that the kid has nothing but success. I hope he gets some actual support off the field from Georgia. Because that's the thing here. LSU needs to hold their heads high. Because they gave this young man support. They gave this young man love when everyone in college football was laughing at this kid. We're mocking this kid. We're trashing this kid. LSU, there were some LSU fans who are doing it too. But the majority of LSU fans wanted this kid back. LSU's coaching staff wanted this kid back. LSU's coaching staff were still singing his praises, wanting him back. Now, they're still heavily recruiting him. You can say whatever you want. Georgia may not have left the picture. But I can tell you around February, they definitely damn well did. They definitely damn well disappeared. They weren't texting him every day. But around April, May, when they found out the academic realities, I think that's when they jumped in and said, hey, you know what? We'll have some of that Arik Gilbert pie. We'll jump in there. And Kirby Smart beat us to it, but you know what? I think LSU will be better off. LSU are in absolutely fine shape. No one needs to worry about the Tigers this season because we didn't get Arik Gilbert. Do not worry.